Lucky Boys Podcast.
Here's a problem with a lot of Asians, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but a lot of Asians inherently, culturally, maybe especially for the older generation, is that they just don't want any problems.
Of course, yeah.
We're taught to just stay away from problems. If you don't bother us, we won't bother you.
Yeah.
We won't cause our uproar. We'll just stick to ourselves.
Yeah.
Even when COVID happened, and they caught those guys that beat up the old man out in San Francisco.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't want to press charges."
It's crazy.
It happened already. I'm done. I don't want any more problems.
Yeah, and then the police can't do anything about it.
Culture, exactly.
Yeah.
See, culturally, and that's the thing. So if we're gonna get beat up and punched, and he's not the exception. I mean, there's a bunch of Asians that think like that.
Yeah.
Right. So they just don't want any problems. They just want to be left alone to their own devices. They don't want to stir up. They don't want to stir the pot.
And that comes to our detriment. You know.
Absolutely.
It comes to our detriment, and we have to understand that being like quiet does not work in this country. You know, being quiet works against us.
But they look at themselves as self-preservation, though. They're not looking.
But
they're not thinking. Going, well, if I press charges against those people that harm me, I'm taking a criminal off the street. He's not going to be able to do that to someone else. They're not thinking like that.
Yeah.
They're thinking, if I press charges, they're really going to come after me now. You know, that's their thinking.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The trouble isn't worth.
Trouble isn't worth. I got beat up.
Yeah.
And he got fucked up, man. And an old man fighting a young man. And he wasn't even fighting. He just got blindsided and jumped.
Yeah.
And he decided to stay away from that. And I gotta tell you, a lot of Asians think like that.
Yeah.
A lot of Asians think like that.
They don't want to stir anything. But
so think about how can they get involved in a movement?
We just have to understand.
Even in the Asian movement, they can't even get involved with that. If they're not willing to fight for themselves, and that's part of the problem I was alluding to earlier.
Because that's what we need to. Because Asians do not unite. We just do not unite amongst each other. There's so much hate amongst different Asians.
But if you take out the hate, it's not even that, right? It's just they just want to be left to their own devices.
Yeah, so we have to understand. We have to somehow
hate is part of the equation.
Yeah,
amongst
but
ourselves.
we have to somehow.
But it's not 100% of the reason.
So we have to somehow have these now tough conversations within our community, and find our common goals. What are we trying to achieve? What are the things that are holding us back? We have to do the labor and the efforts, to help people in our community see how we're treated in our country, what's going on, how we have to present paths forward. There are not paths forward that are presented. There are not enough outspoken voices that are talking to our community and getting people to buy into a vision. There's just not that.
You're right. And the voices we hear come from our families and our parents.
Yeah.
And what they teach us is to avoid problems, avoid conflict.
Yeah. So that's why we
culturally
need.
we're built like
but
that.
now we need voices that are unafraid of conflict. That that not just talk about our collective power, but demonstrate our collective power. Demonstrate what we can do when we get together.
I honestly think we're not there yet.
We're not there. No, we're definitely not there.
And I hate because I like looking at the glass half full.
But we're not there. But this is what is needed, and this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do.
But it's not gonna. I hate to even say this, but I don't even think it's gonna happen within our generation.
I think I have hope. I have hope because when we did the first march, the Asians for Black Lives March, right? And had expected 200 people to come up, right? And it had all that noise, and even if they had swayed 50 people, I was devastated at 2:00, right? And then 3:00 hit, over 2,000 people were there.
2,000 Asians?
2,000, about 60 to 70% Asians.
Right.
That was the first time in my lifetime that I've ever seen Asians come together to protest or join in unity for something, towards something. Right. The only time I've ever seen Asians come together in a big, massive crowd was at a rave or something.
Yeah.
That's but I've never seen someone come towards a cause, come towards fighting together for something. Even if it were just superficial, or even for social clout, or even to take a video. I don't care. Like, I don't care if people become activists for social clout, as long as whatever they're doing has a net positive for the movement.
Okay.
You know, I don't care, like, you know, if people are like want to lend their celebrity towards something that advances something, even though it gives them a lot of social like credibility, it gives them social capital, I'm fine with that as long as it's a net positive.
I
for
just
the movement,
don't think
you know?
that event has happened yet. In order for it to happen within our generation,
Yeah.
or lifetime,
It's happening.
I think
it's happening. It takes time.
It's
you know?
pockets of situations.
There needs to be an event that pushes us over the edge where you can get that grandfather. I mean, because it's not just you and me. You and me, yes. But we're talking about we need all of us in order for the numbers to actually matter.
Yeah,
Right?
we do need to.
So we need to make it so that grandpa, people like him, will not run from criminals or run from speaking up against evil.
Yeah, but no one's talking to him. The people, like, you know, you have even the delivery people, right? Like, you know, immigrants,
right.
you know, probably undocumented too,
Right.
You know, they are like, you know, delivering stuff in the projects. They get targeted a lot and they never report. You know, they're attacked, they get robbed, this and that. They never report because it's not worth the trouble. I don't want to get deported.
Right.
You know, I don't want to get whatever. You know, not realizing that when you're reporting hate crimes, you're not. They don't ask about your citizenship.
Right.
They don't ask about your status.
But it's not even
you know?
that, because they have to.
Deliver.
You can't go to the cops.
Yeah.
If the beef that you have is in where you live, where you work, right? Those two factors, they know where you are against a powerful group. That's completely crazy.
Yeah.
And if you're paranoid, you feel like going to the cops will make it worse.
Yeah.
You go, okay, maybe you
But
punched me in
because
my
there's
face,
no
you took my
support,
money.
there's no support in the Asian community for
Right.
Asians.
No, there is none.
There's no support. We do not support each other.
Right. But
we
it's
don't
the-
own it, like
but
we
it's
don't
the-
own our like
it's-
problems.
But
in our
it's what we're
community.
taught. We're taught that to run away from these. Avoid.
So yeah, I understand that we're
any
taught that. I
conflict.
understand that there's this conditioning. So that I understand that there is that.
So
But we
then-
have to
so
stand.
then
we have to
create-
decondition now and
so
recondition to something
we
else.
plant this fear.
Yeah.
This fear of trouble when you're a child, and that
Yeah.
and when you plant it at a young age, it just grows. And fear is like a weed.
Yeah.
It just grows and grows and grows the more you allow fear to do it. Just like
Yeah.
laziness.
Yeah.
You know, you allow yourself to be lazy. Like if you go, oh, I'm gonna skip this workout, I'm gonna push it out to tomorrow, Push it, and then it'll just grow and grow. You're lazy, and it gets harder to get back on the horse. Same thing. Fear acts as the same way, except that it's way more powerful.
Yeah.
Fear is extremely powerful, where it can rival love.
Yeah.
So-
Well, especially fear
so-
in the face of zero support.
Exactly.
You know?
So when you have, and where people support your fears, especially,
Yeah.
right? So now you have someone that fears all this. They have every reason not to come out and fight. And that's really challenging, because I see that fear firsthand in my community, in my friends,
Yeah.
in my families. And I'm going, I would be shocked if I ever see this guy at a protest.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if this guy even ever voted
Yeah.
or spoke up about anything.
Yeah.
There's just too many like that, where I feel the only way it'll bring change is, and the truth of it, it's not reading articles, seeing headlines. They don't give a shit about that. The fear's too strong. It's way too. You need something stronger, more potent, to get those people to move in the direction of change. And something needs to happen, a catastrophic event. It has to be catastrophic, where the love outgrows
Someone needs
the
to be
fear.
killed. Somebody needs to be killed. That's what happened. Like this is the like Asian Americans.
Like this
Not
is
even someone.
I mean,